people understand that, look, I mean, I'm not anti-education. You know, I talk a lot about how I never enjoyed school myself. It was never fun for me. I never pursued it. Only reason why I went to college for the short time I did was to play sports. Once I hurt my knee, I was done with sports. I was done with college. I mean, simple as that. I got in the marketplace. I started making money 21 years old. By the time I was 28, I was financially independent. So that can be the story for a lot of people like me. And I get it. You know, my daughter, she'll probably end up going to college because she wants to play soccer. And she wants that experience to play soccer and sports. And now my son, he may or may not go. But, you know, whatever. Look, at the end of the day, man, let's treat people as human beings, you know, as individuals, to say, like you said, you know, get rid of the absolutes. And let's say, hey, look, is school right for this person? If it is, then let's do it. If it's not, then that's okay too. I love that, Joe. Well
you know what
said.
I would add to that too, Daniel, is, and we don't say this a lot, but it's very valuable in the marketplace today to have a skill. Like everybody doesn't, their mind doesn't work from a standpoint of some type of corporate job. Like especially a lot of our middle class children, a skill is tremendous today, right? And that don't require all this schooling, right? And you can make a great income, a great living, have a great lifestyle to go and pursue a skill, right? Just like, you know, the 4 years, because in 4 years of college, what skill did you develop? So you could develop in a trade school in a year or 2 years, something that could pay you 6 figures for the rest of your life.
Oh yeah.
You may not wear a tie every day, but everybody doesn't want to wear a tie every day.
So when you got in business, Joe, did you ever get criticized? Did anybody criticize you? Did anybody put you down? I mean, did you have any haters back then? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, you know, I didn't. And let me tell you why. I do understand that there are a lot of people that are going to experience that. But let me tell you why I didn't. Because we already explained that I was a leader.
Right.
So I had a lot of credibility with people that knew me. I don't think we had this category in high school, but I really believe I'd have been one or two most likely to succeed. Now we did have best dressed, and I was that. But we didn't have a most likely to succeed as some other schools, and I really believe that I would have really been in the running for that. So I wasn't going to get a lot of criticism. It was really, I actually got a lot of support, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I think that just kind of depends on, you know, in business where relationship marketing is a part of it. It's all about how you came to the table, and that is going to be what you deal with, right? So what has been your past credibility in other things? You know, the scripture says, let your yes be yes and let your no be no. So if you weren't like that before business, well, then they're going to deal with you in the same fashion in business. Now, what I would tell your listeners is that can really be overcome by you developing yourself and working on yourself and getting better. And I always tell people is you're not going to get like what we say regional vice president, but whatever the level is, because I know your listeners do all kinds of different things. So whatever the level you're trying to attain in business, you're not going to get there with the people you know. So it doesn't matter anyway. The only thing that they can do is take you out mentally and sabotage your future success. See, it's going to be, our reception is better with strangers than family and friends. But I always say in our business, in the industry we're in, is that the only thing your families and friends can do is help you to get to your first couple of promotions by just kind of helping you out. They can't do any more for you. Your best friend is not going to be one of your top leaders in your organization. And I know there are examples in Primerica where that happens, but there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands where it didn't happen. So criticism is going to happen. There's going to be adversity you got to deal with in terms of, you know, friends and family. Just don't get sidetracked unless you want their life. I think you should listen to people whose life you want.
Right.
So if you're dealing with it, you have, but that's the craziest thing. If you ever talk to somebody about, especially our industry and our company that has money, that is already successful, and they're going to tell you, makes sense, do it.
Right.
But your broke cousin living in their mama basement, scam.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, I mean, for me, I mean, I didn't have credibility growing up. You know, I was a bad kid. I was one of the bad boys. I got in a lot of trouble. Me and the principal, man, we were best buddies, man. And so that was Daniel Alonzo. So when I got into business, nobody believed me. Nobody trusted me. So I took a lot of heat, man. I took a lot. And plus I'm hanging out with all these, you know, probably people that maybe weren't going to be so successful. And so what happened is they were portraying their lack of confidence onto me. Versus if I would have been hanging out with people like you, you'd have been like, yeah, go for it, Daniel. Try it, man. You can do this. You got this. Just, you know, just study and work hard and be disciplined and get focused and do all the shit you have to do. And then you'll get to where you want to go. So yeah, what you're saying is right on, Joe. Tell me, I mean, did you have any struggles in the business? Tell me about.
Well, that's another story. Now we started off with a lot of credibility and
Right.
all of that kind of jazz. But yes, we had a tremendous amount of obstacles we dealt with, you know, really going back to the beginning. So we had a lot of credibility. So we moved to to our first couple of levels of promotion pretty quickly. You know, less than a couple of months. You know, so we were moving pretty quick because we had a lot of credibility. But once we ran out of those people that we knew and we had not really been taught a referral system or a system that could perpetuate that initial success, then I had to get into more of the, I guess, what we consider the nasties and whatnot. And I wasn't very good at that due to, you know, my lack of confidence and all of that kind of jazz. So we initially, well, let's give this part of the story that maybe some of your listeners don't know. In our industry with our company, regional vice president is the goal, you know, kind of like a broker in real estate, that sort of thing. And that's kind of where, okay, you're moving in the right direction to really do something special. Well, it took me 5 years to get there. Right now, if you ask me, so what's the frame of reference? Well, somebody that's really focusing on it should get there maybe 18 to 24 months. So it was double that time for me, but there was a lot of things going on there. I mean, we've had houses foreclosed on, we've had cars repossessed, you know, we've had all of those sorts of things. We get to vice president. My first year as a vice president, I've had a couple of teams quit. You know, like actual, you know, you got 20, 30 people, and those teams quit, and I was making $8,000, $10,000 a month, and I go down to 2,000. You know, we lost a baby along the way, premature birth. The year we lost the baby, that was my first marriage, and the year we lost the baby, premature birth. You know, in our industry, life insurance, you know, we had a substantial contract reduction to where instead of making my full compensation, I was making about half of that for an entire year. So I made, that was my lowest year. I think that was 2003. That was my lowest year income. That year I made $13,000.
Wow.
Yeah, I was RVP.
Wow.
I made $2,000 in a year. My office rent was $1,800 a month. I made $13,000. He said, "Well, wow. that doesn't make sense." Well, I pretty much survived that year on payday loans.
Wow. Thank you for watching our short clips on Alonzo Academy. If you'd like to watch the next short clip, click here. If you'd like to watch the entire podcast, click here.